The Ship of Fools, Episode 65, Death of a Galaxy. The Pathway Home. The Shadow Quest drifted through a region of space that shimmered like liquid glass. The stars around them bent and refracted, as if the universe were a lens being twisted by unseen hands. A hologram of the ship's AI appeared on the command deck. Aurora's voice broke the silence. "Commander, I have detected a temporal resonance echo." Banning straightened. "From where?" Aurora projected a swirling lattice of golden threads, a map of timelines, each strand vibrating with memory. "This signature," she said, "originates from our original universe." Moxie's breath caught. "You found our home?" "Not exactly," Aurora said, "but I found a pathway." The path glowed like a wound in space, unstable, flickering, dangerous. Snipes swallowed. "That looks unsafe." Banning didn't hesitate. "Do it." The engines roared. The stars folded inward. The Shadow Quest jumped. They emerged into darkness. Not the soft, star-speckled dark of space, but a heavy, suffocating void where the light itself seemed tired. Aurora scanned the region. "Commander, this is our original timeline." Snipes cheered, then froze. Is that the fleet?" Broken, fractured, and dead starships were strewn about in open space. The view screen zoomed in, and the bridge fell silent. Their homeworld, once blue and green and alive, was now a smoking ruin. The oceans boiled away, the continents cracked open like shattered pottery, the atmosphere drifted in glowing embers. Moxie whispered, "No!" Aurora continued scanning. Every planet in the system was the same, charred, broken, lifeless. Snipes whispered, "We're the last ones." Aurora detected something else. A wound in space itself. A massive, jagged tear in the fabric of reality, pulsing with dark energy. It stretched across the system like a cosmic scar, bleeding shadows into the void. "What is that?" Banning asked. Aurora's lights flickered. "It is a temporal rupture, a tear between universes." The tear pulsed again, a deep, resonant thrum that shook the ship. Moxie stepped closer. "Can we stop it?" Aurora hesitated. "Not now, but we may be able to stop it then." Snipes blinked. "Then? As in, before it happened?" Aurora nodded. "We have enough power to traverse time, to go back, to prevent this." Banning exhaled. "Then we do it." Aurora dimmed her lights. "There are costs." "What are the costs?" Banning asked. Aurora projected a temporal diagram, a branching tree of timelines. "If we travel back," she said, "we will not be able to return to this moment. The energy required to prevent the catastrophe will collapse the temporal corridor behind us." Moxie frowned. "Meaning?" "Meaning," Aurora said, "we will be trapped in the past. Forever." Snipes swallowed. "No coming back. No second chance." Banning stared at the ruined world on the screen. "There's nothing to come back to." Moxie wiped her eyes. "If we don't go back, this is all that remains." Snipes whispered, "We're the last survivors of a dead universe." Aurora added softly, "And the only ones who can save it." The crew gathered in the briefing room. The air was heavy, the silence deeper than space. Banning looked at each of them. "We vote, one last time." Moxie spoke first. "We go back. We save them. All of them." Snipes nodded. "Yeah, I'm terrified, but we can't just let this stand." Aurora flickered. "I am with you, always." Banning took a breath. "Then it's decided." Before initiating the jump, the crew gathered on the observation deck. They looked out at their home, broken, silent, gone. Moxie whispered, "I thought coming home would feel like closure." Banning shook his head. "This isn't closure. This is a beginning." Snipes sniffed. "I'm gonna miss everything." Aurora's voice softened. "We carry them with us, in memory, in purpose." The tear in space pulsed again, as if mocking them. Banning turned away. "Let's go!" The engines roared. The temporal core ignited. The stars stretched into lines of white fire. Aurora counted down. 3. The ship trembled. 2. The tear in space screamed. 1. The Shadow Quest leapt into the time stream, a river of light and memory. Behind them, the corridor collapsed. Their home, their present, vanished forever. The Shadow Quest emerged into a bright, living universe. Planets intact, stars vibrant, the fleet alive. Moxie gasped. "We made it," Aurora confirmed. "We are 23 years in the past." Snipes grinned. "We can fix this." Banning shook his head. "No, we can prevent it." But Aurora's lights flickered. "Commander, the rupture is forming here, now." The view screen zoomed in. The tear, smaller, younger, but unmistakable, was opening near the system's edge. Moxie whispered, "It's happening again." The rupture widened. Something emerged. A shape of shifting darkness, like a living shadow made of broken timelines. Its form twisted and reformed, a creature of pure entropy. Aurora's voice trembled. "Commander, that is a galaxy eater." Snipes screamed. "A what?" "A being that consumes timelines," Aurora said. "A predator of universes." The creature roared, a sound like 1,000 collapsing stars. Banning gripped the console. "Weapons ready. Prepare to cloak." Moxie nodded. "Let's finish this." The Shadow Quest charged toward the rupture, now visually cloaked and invisible to sensors. The Galaxy Eater sensed them and lashed out with tendrils of dark energy, tearing holes in space. The ship dodged, engines screaming. Snipes shouted, "Shields at 30%. Aurora flickered. "Commander, we must strike the creature's core, the point where its timeline intersects ours." Moxie locked onto the glowing nexus at its center. "Got it!" Banning shouted, "Fire!" The Shadow Quest unleashed everything in its arsenal. Torpedoes, beams, the temporal core itself. The creature shrieked, its form unraveling. The rupture began to collapse. Aurora warned, "Commander, the collapse will take us with it." Banning didn't hesitate. "Then we go down saving our universe." The ship plunged into the collapsing tear. Light swallowed them. Inside the collapsing rupture, Snipes clung to his console. "I just want to say," he shouted over the chaos, "I blame time travel for everything bad that ever happened to me." Moxie yelled back, "Not the moment, Snipes." "No! This is exactly the moment! Time travel is a menace, a scourge, a—" The ship lurched violently. Snipes screamed. "I take it back! I take it back! Time travel is great!" The rupture collapsed inward. The Galaxy Eater dissolved into dust. The universe stabilized. But the Shadow Quest was caught in the implosion. Aurora's voice softened. "Commander, we are being pulled out of the time stream." "Where?" Banning asked. "I do not know." The ship dissolved into light. As the ship faded, Moxie stood at the viewport. She saw her home world, alive, whole, beautiful. Children playing in parks, ships launching from starports, families laughing, a universe restored. She whispered, "We did it." Banning stepped beside her. "We saved them." Moxie nodded, tears falling. "Even if they never know." The light swallowed them. The new unknown. The Shadow Quest reformed in a strange region of space. The stars were unfamiliar, the constellations wrong, the void different. Aurora flickered. "Commander, we are not in our own timeline, or any known timeline." Snipes groaned. "We're lost again?" Banning looked at his crew, the last survivors of a dead universe, and the unseen saviors of a living one. "No," he said quietly. "We're not lost." He stepped forward. "We're free." The Shadow Quest turned toward the unknown and flew into their future. Epilogue. The librarian watches, far beyond the reach of any star, in a place where time folded like silk and the void hummed with memory. The librarian stood alone in the archive of unlived lives. The shelves around them glowed softly, each book a universe, each page a timeline. The air shimmered with drifting constellations, and the floor beneath their feet rippled like liquid starlight. A single tome floated before them, massive, bound in threads of gold and shadow. The Book of the Shadow Quest. Its pages trembled. The librarian lifted a hand, and the tome opened itself with a sigh that echoed across eternity. Inside, the final pages rewrote themselves in real time, the dead universe collapsing, the Shadow Quest leaping into the past, the Galaxy Eater dissolving, the rupture sealing, the timeline healing, the crew being pulled into the unknown. The librarian watched silently. Behind him, the three judges materialized, sun, moon, and galaxy masks glowing faintly. The sun-masked judge spoke first, voice warm and harsh like a solar flare. "They succeeded." The moon-masked judge added cold and analytical. "The timeline is restored. Their universe lives." The galaxy-masked judge tilted their head. "But they are displaced." The librarian closed the book gently. "They always were." The judges waited. The librarian continued, voice soft as drifting dust. "They have done what no crew has ever done. They saved a universe that had already died." The sun-masked judge asked, "Should we retrieve them?" The librarian shook their head. "No, their story is not yet finished." The moon-masked judge's mask glowed. "They are lost beyond all recorded timelines." The librarian turned the book, revealing a blank section, dozens of empty pages waiting to be written. "Then they will discover new ones." The galaxy-masked judge stepped forward. "The Galaxy Eater was not alone. Others of its kind will come." The librarian's image rippled with shifting reflections. "I know." They closed the tome. The entire library dimmed as if bracing itself. "The Shadow Quest has entered a region of reality untouched by order, a place where stories go feral, where timelines are born wild." The judges exchanged uneasy glances. The librarian placed the book gently on a pedestal of starlight. "They will face things even I cannot predict." A long silence. Then the librarian spoke again, almost tenderly. "But they are no longer anomalies. They are guardians." The book pulsed once, a heartbeat. The librarian whispered, "And their stories are only beginning." The lights of the library dimmed. The cosmos held its breath. And somewhere, far beyond the reach of any known universe, the Shadow Quest sailed into the wild unknown. End of episode 65. The missions of the Shadow Quest, the Ship of Fools, will continue.